Question 19. The function h is defined by h of x equals 4x plus 28. The graph of y equals hx in the xy plane has an x-intercept at a0 and a y-intercept at 0b, where a and b are constants. What is the value of a plus b? X-intercept is a0. So let's say this is a. Y-intercept is b0, 0b. What is a plus b? Okay, we're given the function h of x. Yeah. So we can solve for the y-intercept. Yeah. The y-intercept, we set x equals 0. The value of y when x is equal to 0. So our function is y equals 4x plus 28. And we're given the y-intercept 0b. So that would be, the y is b equals 4 times 0 plus 28. Therefore, the y-intercept is 0, 28. It's 28. Right? Then we solve for the x-intercept. We set y equals 0. So 0 equals 4x plus 28. So 4x is equal to negative 28. We divide this by 4. So x is equal to 28 divided 4 is negative 7. Right? 4x. So x is 0. Now this is, hold on, set y equals 0. It's a. It's not x. Why would I put x? Should be a. 4 times a. So this is 4a equals negative 28. A is equal to negative 7. Therefore, a plus b is equal to negative 7 plus 28. So that is 21. Okay? And the answer is letter A. Then 20. One of the factors of 2x cubed plus 42x squared plus 208x is x plus b, where b is a positive constant. What is the smallest possible value of b? Can you solve this? You're given the expression. You need to factor this one. 2x cubed plus 42x squared plus 208x. So what's the greatest common factor here? 2 and x, right? So we were left with x squared plus 42x plus 208 divided to 104. 21. Hold on, it's 21. Plus 21x plus 104. And now you can factor this. Can you factor this one? 2x times x plus 8 times x plus 13. What is the smallest possible value of b? So here, the factors are 2x, x plus 8, x plus 13. So these factors, only this one, x plus 8 and x plus 13 is in the form of x plus b, right? So the smallest here, the values would be negative 8 and 13. The possible values of b are 8 and 13. So the smallest possible value is 8. of b is 8. Okay. 21. In the given system of equations, a is a positive constant. The system has exactly one distinct real solution. What is the value of a? Okay, solve for a. It says the system has exactly one distinct real solution. So that means we can just, okay, we can equate this one and this one, both the y's. When we say distinct and real solution, that means the discriminant is equal to 0. The b squared minus 4ac equals 0. Okay, so that is x squared plus 8x plus a equals negative 1.5. And you can put all of them together. It'll be x squared plus 8x plus a plus 1.5 equals 0. Okay, a and 1.5 here is the c. Yeah, our a is equal to 1, our b is equal to 8. Now let's plug in everything to the discriminant formula. So that is 8 squared minus 4 times 1 times a plus 1.5 equals 0. So this is 64 minus 4a minus, what is 15 times 4? 30, 60 equals 0. Then this is 4a equals 4, right? Then divide 4. Then a is equal to 1. I think it doesn't make sense. What is the value of a? Hold on. It's not 1, it's not 15, it's 1.5. This one, 1.5. So 64 minus 4a minus 1.5 times 4. 6 equals 0. Then 4a equals negative, that is 58. Yeah, negative 4a is negative 58. So that would be negative 4 divided by negative 4. So 58 divide 4. They're both divisible by 2. 58 divided by 2. This is 29 over 2. Therefore, the value of a is 29 over 2. When the system of these equations has exactly one real solution. Okay, do you have questions? Okay, number 22. F of x is equal to x plus 6, x plus 5, x minus 4. Which table of values represents y equals f of x minus 3? Y equals f of x minus 3. So that means you subtract this by 3. You need to expand this first. Maybe we can do trial and error. We can do trial and error. Let's say this one. We use 4 here, 4. Okay, we use 4, 6. 4 plus 6. Okay, y equals 4 plus 6 times 4 plus 5 times 4 minus 3. We'll see. This is 10 times 9 times 0 minus 3. So y is equal to negative 3. So which one here, which table here has a value of 4, a value of negative 3 when x is equal to 4. It's letter B, right? So the answer is letter B. So in some cases, you use the options to find the answer. 23. For the function q, the value of q of x decreases by 45%. For every increase, the value of q of x decreases by 45% for every increase in the value of x by 1. If q of 0 is 14, which equation defines q? So q of 0 equals 14. Okay, let's set up an equation first. Q of x is equal to 14 times, it says 45%. 1 minus 45 over 100, or 0.45 to the x. So this would be 14 times 1 minus 0.45 to the x, or 14 times 0.55 to the x. That is the equation. Okay, we can check it when x equals 0. So q of 0 is equal to 14 times 0.55 to the 0. So this is 14 times 1 equals 14. So the equation is correct. 14.55x. The answer is letter C. Okay, do you have questions? Then for 25. The graph of y equals f of x plus 14 is shown. Which equation defines function f? It says plus 14. Okay, what do we have here? Our equation is y equals mx plus b, right? Slope intercept. So maybe we need to find the slope. We choose 2 points, maybe this point and this one. So 0, 2 and 8, 0. Then you find the slope. That is 0 minus 2 over 8 minus 2. It's negative 2 over 6, which is negative 1. 8 minus 0. 2 over 8. Negative 1/4. So our equation be y equals negative 1/4 x. We don't know b. So let's choose either of the 2 points. Let's say we choose this one, 0, 2. 2 equals negative 1/4 times 0 plus b. So b is equal to 2. So the equation would be y equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. Okay. Is the slope correct? Can you see my writings? 0, 2, and then 8, 0. 0 minus 2, negative 1/4. Then plus b. We choose 0, 2. Of course, b is 2. So the answer is letter C. But you know the answer in the worksheet? It says A. Oh, hold on. It says f of x plus 14. Not bad. This is only for f of x. This one is f of x. Yeah. So maybe we add 14 there. F of x plus 14. So that would be negative 1/4 x plus 2 plus 14. Which is negative 1/4 x plus 16. So the answer is letter B. Hold on. Letter A. Negative plus 2. Yeah, it should be letter B. If you add 14. But then we got the 2 points from the graph itself, right? Because it says it is already the graph of y equals f of x plus 14. Maybe we equate f of x plus 14 equals negative 1/4 x plus 2. Therefore, f of x is equal to negative 1/4 x plus 2 minus 14. So the function would become negative 1/4 x minus 12. So this is the answer. This one. Yeah. But it's a bit confusing, right? Because it says here that the graph is already f of x plus 14. And we got the slope here from that one. Yeah? Okay. You take note of this kind of problem, and that's how you solve it. You just equate. Then for 25, the side lengths of a right triangle, RST, okay, are given. Okay, let's say this is the triangle. Triangle RST similar to UVW, where S corresponds to V. Okay. So let's say this is RST and UVW, where S corresponds to V and T corresponds to W. What is the value of W? It says RS is 20, ST is 48, and TR is 52. And they are similar triangles. Okay, so corresponding angles should be equal, right? Therefore, if we use sine or cosine or tangent, what is the value of tangent W? Oh, it says here tangent W. So tangent of W is, okay, this is W, that is 20 over 52. And we can reduce that. They're both divisible by 2. So that is 10 over, what is 52 divided by 2? 26. And we can further reduce this to 5 over 13. Okay, RS is 20, ST is 48, RT is 52. Then angle W, opposite, 20 over 42. It's 5 over 13. It should be letter A. Okay. Tangent or S corresponds to V. Okay, that's correct. Make sure your drawing is correct. T corresponds to W. Yeah, that's correct. You know, the answer in the book is 5 over 12. So I wonder how it got 5 over 12. And they have the same angles. Okay. Or maybe you calculate tangent T first, so that is 5 over 13. And that would be equal to tangent W. Tangent T is equal to tangent W. So tangent T is 5 over 12. But it's the same. It's 5 over 5 over 13. And it's the same, 5 over 13. I wonder why it's 5 over 12 when tangent is opposite over adjacent. So the book is following opposite over hypotenuse. So I don't know what the notation is. Oh, hold on, Raha. TR is 52, so it's the longest side, right? So it should be the hypotenuse. Okay. It has something to do with the notation or when you're drawing. Hold on. So RS, let's say this is R, and this is T. So let's say this is 52. Then RS, so S is the, okay, this is 20. We change our drawing. It says S corresponds to V. So this is V. Then T corresponds to W. So that means this is U. So tangent of T, which is just tangent of W, is equal to opposite 20 over 48. That's how it got 5 over 12. Okay. So you have to draw well. Okay, these are the last two problems from Module 1. 26. 1 gallon of paint will cover 220 square feet of a surface. A room has a total wall area of W square feet. Which equation represents the total amount of P in gallons needed to paint the walls of the room twice? So it's given here that W represents the total wall area in square feet. And since the walls here of the room will be painted twice, the amount of paint in gallons needs to cover also twice, right? Twice the area. It's also given here that 1 gallon of paint will cover 220 square feet. So we divide the total area in square feet of the surface to be painted by the number of square feet covered by 1 gallon. So that would be 2 total area when it is painted twice divided by 220. And this is just W over 110. The question is, which equation represents the total amount of P in gallons? Okay, so P is equal to W over 110. So the answer here is letter A. Then for 27, the number A is 110% greater than the number B. So A is equal to 1 plus 110%, which is 110 over 100 of B. Yeah. So that would be 1 plus, what is 110 over 100? That is 1.1 plus 1.1. So this is 2.1B. Okay, and it is also given here that the number B is 90% less than 47. 90% less than. So B is 1 minus 97%, 90% of 47. So this is 1 minus 0.9 times 47. So B is equal to 0.1 times 47, which makes it 4.7. And now substituting B to the equation, or the equation A equals 2.1B, then we can find the value of A. So 2.1 times 4.7, this would give us 9.87. So this is now the value of A. Okay. Then we go to module 2.